the Stock Car Cafe in Cornelius, North Carolina. It's time for our special Christmas weekend edition of Race Day. Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Benjamin. Welcome to Race Day. It's our special holiday weekend get-together. The third consecutive year we've been here to the Stock Car Cafe on Christmas weekend. We've got a great guest list for you. Come on inside. Let's see who's already arrived. Well, here we are inside of the Stock Car Cafe. We've got a great crowd here. We're glad you're with us, too. And our first guest tonight, look who's here at the buffet line. Kyle Petty, welcome. Happy holidays, man.
Nice to see you, man.
You had a terrific season. Were you surprised at how well things turned out for you this year?
I think surprise is the understatement. I think we started the year, Bobby Kennedy and Glenn and all those guys, and they worked really hard. We were behind from the very beginning. The 43 team helped us a lot with cars and stuff, but most of the stuff we had was come from our shop over there from PE2, and they did a tremendous job all year long to keep the Hot Wheels car out there.
By the end of the season, you looked like you were ready to win a race. Dover was a close call. What about 1998? Can you win a few?
Yeah, you know, it kind of surprised us that we got as good as we got, or got as competitive as we got towards the end of the year. You know, I think we felt like that we wanted to be a top 20 team when the season started. We wanted to be a top 15 team by the end of the year. That's kind of where we ended up. We had no idea we could be a top 10 team, and we ended up running in the top 10 the last 4 or 5 races or whatever. So I think if you run and you run in the top 10 and then you build it up and you pick it up and you run in the top 5, run consistent, you can win some races. So hopefully next year we will.
What are your holiday wishes for the fans, for your family? What would you like to see in this holiday season?
No, I tell you what, I think for me, that my holiday season is the family. Just to get back and get closer to your family, to get back to your roots, to go back to church, you know, to get back closer with God. And just spend time, because that's what the holiday season's all about, giving, helping people. And, you know, we're fortunate to do what we do, to race and be able to enjoy what we do. You're out there busting your ear in week and week out, but you're having a good time doing it. And you know, I just hope and pray that everybody out there has the opportunity in the coming year to do everything they want to do.
Well, Kyle, thanks for coming by, man. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Good luck in 1998. I'm going to walk down the line here just a little bit. Look who's here. Phil Parsons from the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series. Welcome and happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Same to you, Rick.
Your family enjoying the holiday season?
Sure are. We're having a great time.
Now, you had a good 1997, 6th in points, but you didn't win a race. What will you improve on in 1998?
Well, you know, hopefully the chances we have to win a race, we're going to take advantage of. We had several chances to win races, and we didn't do the right things at the right time. Really, 2 out of the last 5 races, we pretty much should have won. And due to our own miscues, we let them slip away from us. So this division is so competitive that anytime you get a chance, you better take advantage of it, and we didn't do that.
You told me earlier that your sponsor hunt is on for 1998. What's your situation? Will you be able to go to the races next year?
Well, we don't know if we can put some sponsorship together to run the full series. That's what we're going to do. If that doesn't pan out, then we may back up and look for a limited schedule situation. But we cannot afford to go to the races to do it right and be unsponsored. We don't have the resources to do that. So, you know, we may go to Daytona, but then that would probably be it if we don't get some legitimate sponsorship.
You're fighting Base Motorsports, 3-time defending champions, Team 34. You're an owner-driver with 1 car. Is that tough to do?
Well, I guess the way I look at it, right, it'd be tougher for me to try to do 2 cars as an owner, but it is, you know, they get so many more tests and things like that. But you know, we've had some real good, talented people, and I've been around enough that hopefully we can accelerate the learning curve when we go to a new racetrack and things like that. That's one thing we were really good at all the new racetracks. Half of the year, we couldn't hardly do anything to finish out of the top 10. Then we went through a stretch where we had some ignition problems, really didn't narrow it down till later on. That really hurt us for 6 or 7 races. So if we could rerun the 6 or 7 races during the summer, then I think we'd have a whole different situation.
Well, I know for 1998, your tops in your gift list is a sponsor that'll allow you to run the full season and win a championship. We wish you well with that. Phil Parsons with us on Race Day. Best of luck and happy holidays to you.
Same to you.
There's more to come on this holiday weekend edition of Race Day. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Race Day is brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install.
Welcome back to our special Christmas weekend edition of Race Day from the Stock Car Cafe. I found two Pauls, two great race drivers. Paul Tracy from the Kart World Series, Paul Gentilozzi from the SCCA Trans Am. Paul Tracy, an interesting offseason for you. I was shocked when you left Team Penske. What happened?
I was let go by Penske Racing and kind of scrambled and found a good seat with Team Cool Green and got straight at it right away. We went homestead testing a couple days after.
Now, that's a team that had a lot of disappointments, really, in 1997, 1996. Can you bring victories to Team Green?
Well, I think so. I think all the ingredients are there. They've got a... and won the championship in 1990, and then they moved on when Barry started. All the ingredients are there. We just have to make it work.
Do you have things to prove in 1998?
Well, I mean, I think I'm overdue for a championship. I think this is a key opportunity for me, being with Team Cool Green. All the ingredients are there, like I said. The opportunity is there, and I feel that I have to deliver, and that's what my focus is to try to capture a championship, which has kind of been overdue for me.
All right, well, listen, we wish you the best in 1998. We'll look for you in Victory Lane very soon in the new season. Go over to Paul Gentilozzi, an old friend of ours, SCCA Trans Am standout, but a guy who didn't have the greatest 1997. You said a couple of times that the driver didn't perform as well as he should have this year. What do you do differently in 1998?
Well, you don't give races away. You know, I gave a couple races away. Tommy was by far the best competitor we've ever had in the Trans Am Series, had the best equipment, the most cohesive team. But we had this discussion just this morning at our shop, and we have to raise our level of expectations as a team, and I have to not make those one or two mistakes a year that cost you victories. There's only 14 chances to win.
Big changes in Trans Am in terms of venues, series sponsor for the first time. It would look as though the outlook has to be very bright for Trans Am racing.
Well, I think for the first time in a long time, Trans Am will get some credibility because of Sears' involvement with its NTV brand. B.F. Goodrich is coming as the spec tire, replacing a good friend of motorsports, Goodyear, and we're going to miss them. But we have new tires, radials, that are going to give us the opportunity to maybe race harder for 100 miles.
You've been a multiple car team owner many times. Will you have more than one car next year, do you think?
I really don't think we will. I think that I'm going to devote the resources we have to just me. In the past, I've tried to make a lot of other guys champions, and that never really worked. Maybe I'm the wrong guy to be a driver team owner and try to make somebody else a champion. I mean, Trans Am's won 25, or Rocket Sports has won 25 Trans Am races, but never a championship. We've helped Chevrolet win their championship, but now it's time to be selfish.
Well, gentlemen, thanks. Paul Tracy, Paul Gentilozzi, a pleasure to have you here. We wish you well in 1998. We cover stories of intense competition every week on Race Day, but we also get a chance to cover some special stories every once in a while. Let's go to our Matt Yoakum.
Rick, it doesn't matter what form of auto racing. The key to success is good chemistry, everyone pulling in the same direction. This year at Hendrick Motorsports, everyone rallied around one man, their leader, Rick Hendrick, and it proved fruitful on and off the racetrack.
As Hendrick Motorsports celebrated 2 more national NASCAR championships in '97, the organization's thoughts were constantly with Rick Hendrick, who couldn't join in the festivities because last November he was diagnosed with leukemia. Since then, Hendrick Motorsports has rallied around their leader, keeping his morale high in his fight to live focused. That fighting spirit has been the support and motivation for Rick's teams.
You know, prior to this season, we're, you know, really sort of like racing for Rick. And I mean, when I would talk to him just on a normal basis and hear his voice and then talk to him after a race win, I mean, it's like a totally different person. And, you know, it's great medicine for him. I mean, he really gets, you know, to feeling better, and it really does a lot for him.
Hey, Jeff, congratulations, buddy. I really appreciate it, man. You good medicine here today, but it was a little too close.
Thank you for everything you do, Rick. We love you so much.
We love you, buddy, and you're a true champion in all ways.
Thank you, man. I couldn't do it without you.
Never one to back down from a good fight, Rick started the Hendrick Marrow program with its 800 Marrow 2 hotline in an effort to raise money and heighten awareness of the need for bone marrow donors.
You know, we've been able or will be able to donate almost $1 million to test potential bone marrow donors by the end of the year, and like 20,000 names have been added to the National Bone Marrow Donor Registry, and that's gonna, that could be 6-8 lives a year, you know, for a long time being saved.
Now, it's easy to join up. Just call 1-800-MARROW2. It takes about 30 minutes out of your time, and who knows, maybe you too can give the gift of life for Christmas. Rick?
Well, thanks, Matt. Certainly a worthwhile effort for a terrific cause here at the holidays. Stick with us. There is more to come on our special Christmas weekend edition of Race Day from the Stock Car Cafe. Welcome back to our special holiday weekend edition of Race Day here from the Stock Car Cafe. And one of the young drivers who made a huge splash in 1997, jumped into everybody's consciousness when he won a Silver Crown race in Phoenix on the last corner. Jimmy Kite is with us. You got into an IRL car. You were fast right off the bat. Where did you come from anyway?
You know, everybody's been saying that all year. I've been running USAC the last couple of years and just couldn't get the recognition that I was needing, and I lucked out. So, the Phoenix race was a one-shot deal. It was, we'll try you at Phoenix and see how you do, and after the win, that turned into a full-time ride, and then I ended up getting a full-time midget ride out of it. And I impressed Andy Evans enough where he gave me a shot in the Indy car, and that turned into a 5-year deal. So, I mean, it keeps building every time I think that, wow, I can't believe this is happening, and it gets a little bit more busy.
You moved into the IRL car after the season really had started. How hard a learning curve has that been for you?
There's certain things that wasn't as hard as I thought they were going to be, and then there were certain things that we did that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Getting used to the air behind other cars, how it makes the car really unstable, that took some getting used to. And like I said, I went through a big learning curve this year, and it's shown a couple of races. But the last race in Vegas, we had a lot of fun, ended up finishing 6th. So, I mean, we got a lot of momentum going into next year, and like, I definitely have the best team out there, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
What are your goals for 1998?
Definitely want to win my first IRL race. I mean, Tony George has made that series for young drivers like me, and I want to open the door for other drivers to come up and do the same thing that Tony Stewart's let me do. And I said we definitely want to win my first race. I'd love to win Atlanta next year. I mean, that's a huge thing for me, going back home, getting a run down there. And everybody's goal is to win Indy 500.
Well, Jimmy Kite, thanks so much for being with us. Have a great 1998. We appreciate you stopping by. Have a happy holiday. Jimmy Kite with us. You know, he goes real fast around oval tracks. Now we're going to meet a guy who goes very quickly in a straight line. NHRA Funny Car star Ron Capps is here. Welcome to Race Day. It's great to have you all the way on the East Coast.
Glad to be here.
You had an interesting 1997 season. Not much success the first half of the year. What happened at the midpoint of the season for you all?
Well, Don Prudhomme brought in Roland Leong as crew chief. You know, we had a horrible first half of the year, and he brought in his old friend Roland Leong. Roland came in and just kind of woke this team up. You know, we had a great second half, won 2 races, and just had a great second half.
You're working for Don the Snake Prudhomme, one of the legendary names. What's he like to drive for?
He's everything you'd think it'd be. You know, it's a dream to drive one of these cars, but to drive for somebody like Don Prudhomme, I mean, it just does not get any better. He's a very passionate person about his racing, and you know, I've learned a lot about him growing up. You know, building his models and his cars, his Hot Wheel cars, and just to drive for him could not be better.
Now, you've got John Force to contend with, as always, in 1998. Is your team ready to be a championship team?
Well, I sure hope so. I said that last year, and the year started off just kind of struggling all year. And then the second half, you know, everybody kept asking me, how can you wait for next year? And the way the car is running, we don't have the restrictions next year to slow us down now. So I think that next year at 98, when we get started, we're going to be right there with John Force, and hopefully with some other guys that we'll be able to go up and give a shot at the championship.
Well, Ron Capps, thanks for joining us. Have a great 1998. We wish you well. Thanks for coming all the way from California to be with us. You know, we come to the Stock Car Cafe, you can't help but notice all the unusual artwork that adorns the walls and the ceilings here. Our Bob Diller has some thoughts on that subject.
Rick, the holidays are always a time for giving, and this holiday, many racing fans have received the work of Sam Bass. We recently spent some time with Sam at his galleries at the Charlotte Motor Speedway and found out more about what's behind the man and his artistry.
I'm a racing fan, so, you know, I enjoy doing this, and for other racing fans to say that they enjoy what I do, I mean, that's like the ultimate compliment. And I've just grown up in this. I've seen everything change, and I've seen a lot of the drivers, you know, come into it, and it's just an exciting sport to be a part of.
Sam, I understand this is the work that basically started it all.
Well, yeah, in many ways it did. It was the first printed piece I ever had, you know, I'd always been a big Bobby Allison fan, and I had given Bobby a lot of my paintings and so forth, and in 1986, when he was running for Miller, I took this painting to the racetrack to have him autograph it and everything, and Miller ended up buying it and producing a poster.
A lot of the tracks, too, come to you and say, Sam, we have a program. We would like you to design the cover, and you've done many of them.
Yeah, I've done pretty close to 100 program covers now, and I've actually done every Charlotte program cover since 1985, which is about 27 or 28 covers now.
How does it feel to have designed the cars for the past 2 Winston Cup champions?
Oh, that's pretty neat. You know, I've been really fortunate. You know, and it's an exciting thing, like I said, to go to Daytona and see a new design roll out. But then when you see something that you've created on a sheet of paper, you know, actually cross the finish line and win the Winston Cup championship, you know, that's a really special feeling.
What's next for Sam Bass?
Wow, I don't even know. I hope a lot more paintings and a lot more car designs, because, you know, I'm in a sport that I just love so much, and I hope that people will let me stay around in it for a long time.
So, Rick, if you haven't already gotten my Christmas present, and it's better late than never, I'll take one of these paintings. How about it?
I don't know, Bob. I'm not sure that you're quite on my Christmas list to that extent this year. We'll be right back with more of our holiday edition of Race Day in a moment.
Race Day, brought to you by Glavel Luxury Vans and Trucks, the choice of top NASCAR tracks, teams, and drivers, and the official van conversion company of NASCAR. Call for a dealer near you. By Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, IRL, and major sponsor of the NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 1-800-800-1230 or 319-547-6000. Race fans, commemorate the 1997 NASCAR season with this exclusive offer: an authentic TNN Motorsports NASCAR Thunder mini helmet made by Simpson Race Products. Call today or visit your local NASCAR Thunder store to purchase this one-of-a-kind collectible. Call 1-800-338-6016. Subscribe to Stock Car Racing Magazine at the low introductory price of $14.97. Call toll-free 1-888-9-STOCK-CAR. Save 68%. Toll-free 1-888-9-STOCK-CAR.
Welcome back to our special Christmas weekend race day from the Stock Car Cafe. We're joined now by a couple of the top crew chiefs in NASCAR. Barry Dodson, old friend of ours, who handles Mike Bliss in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and Andy Graves of Hendrick Motorsports, who's moving over to Terry Labonte's team in 1998. Barry Dodson, you guys had a terrific year in 1997. Didn't come home with a championship, but a lot of success, especially late in the season. How good a year was it for you?
Well, it wasn't bad, Rick. You know, late in the year we got into the form we needed to, and we felt like we became a contender much later than we had hoped, but yet I think we ended the year on a good note, winning probably the biggest race in Oak Fair Challenge in Fontana, and winning 3 out of the last 4 poles was a big plus for us, and it should carry into 98 with a lot of momentum.
What about your team next year? You dabbled in Winston Cup a little in 97. What can we see from Team ASE in 98?
I don't think you'll see us in Cup in 98. I think possibly that was a distraction for us. Maybe running another truck was a little bit of a distraction, and I think it possibly kept us out of victory lane.
So you'll be back with 1 truck only in 98?
1 truck only, that's the plan right now, and then we'll see what happens from there.
All right, we wish you well. We know it'll be a great 98 for you, Barry Dodson. Let's move over and talk to Andy Graves of Hendrick Motorsports. You made a big change toward the end of the year. It was announced you're going to move over and work with Terry Labonte next season. What's he like to work with for a crew chief?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's no one like working with Terry. He's a super good guy and always keeps us cool. And so far, I haven't met anyone like him. I mean, he's pretty experienced, and he can get the job done better than anyone that I've worked with.
So much of it seems to be chemistry between the crew chief and the driver. Do you think you'll get to that point?
I think we're already there. I left a good thing to fulfill my dream of being a crew chief at the beginning of this year. And it's time to go back home now and work with Terry and try to get 98 back like we were in 96.
The Hendrick Motorsports team as a whole has won 3 Cup championships in a row now. Can you make it 4 next year?
Well, Rick called me the other night. He told me it's kind of on my shoulders. He said he didn't want to put a lot of pressure on me first year back with Terry, but Jeff won the first year, and Terry backed it up, and now Jeff won again, so he said it's on my shoulders to bring back the floor.
All right, we wish you well with it in 1998. You'll be a force to be reckoned with, we know. Thank you, Andy Graves, Barry Dodson, with us on Race Day for the Christmas holiday weekend. We'll be right back with more of our special holiday weekend edition of Race Day. Keep it right here. Well, that's all the time we have on this race day. Thanks for being with us. We hope you enjoyed our special Christmas weekend edition. Next week, we're on at a special new time, 11 o'clock Eastern, for an hour-long edition of Race Day, our 1997 Racer of the Year program. We'll talk to many of the series champions nominated for the award this year, and we'll let you know who is the 1997 Race Day Racer of the Year. Have a safe week. Enjoy New Year's. We'll see you next Sunday.